Let's start off with a real life example. Mr. Montgomery Burns has had it. He has about 1,000 employees working at the nuclear power plant, okay? And he is really upset. First of all, the supervisors, and understand, we put this program last, because understand, we've already talked about building trust, resolving conflict, which are our EPR skills, empathic listening, parroting, rewards. And as we move further on here, we'll discuss those a little more for the new people joining us. We talked about goal setting last week. Everything we've talked about has now led up to performance appraisals. And the supervisors at Mr. Montgomery's, or CEO Montgomery's facilities, they have done a fantastic job with their warnings. Great job with the warnings. I mean, I'll tell you, that's what we talked about a couple times ago. A lot of detail, a lot of specific instances. Wonderful. Okay, so the written warnings are accurate. They are detailed. They give me specific examples. Wonderful. All of the written warnings, and these are all true stories, I'm telling you, all of the written warnings just got blown out of the water. Worthless. Great job on them. Great job on the coaching. Why did Mr. Burns have to settle an Ohio civil rights claim and have to settle a lawsuit? Because the performance appraisals wanted to make people, they basically, the supervisors wanted people to feel good about themselves. Well, you know, Jane is doing better, you know, so I gave her some really good marks on her performance appraisals to make her feel better about herself. Okay. And most supervisors give everybody 3s, right? On a scale of 1 to 5, what do? They just give everybody 3s. And what else do they do? Okay. Jane is doing a good job. Jane needs to do better. A lot of vague types of things. And most of the performance appraisals are late. So what's he want to do? He wants to take his entire performance appraisal system out in the backyard and let Homer Simpson blow them up. They're going to stop doing them. They're not going to do them anymore. They're going to throw them in the dumpster. Okay, everybody get the scenario? All right. Any thoughts on that? You can chat me up. You can open your mic. You can give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. What do you think we ought to be doing here? I mean, is he right? Maybe Mr. Montgomery Burns is correct. No one should be doing performance appraisals at this organization. They're not accurate. Oh, and let me give you the hint as to what really gets his gripe. You know, you put the performance appraisal together. You sit down with the employee. From business standpoint, it's a total waste of time. It's a total waste of time, and they're not accurate. Okay, so nobody's, you know, just like some of the comments we got before, nobody is feeling good or being coached. Okay, Tom's giving us a good one here. What are implications of late performance reviews? Oh, Tom, what a great question. And anybody chime in, because his are late. Anybody have any thoughts on that as to, you can chime in on anything you want. Should we take our performance appraisal systems out and blow them up? Or is maybe Mr. Montgomery Burns is wrong? Maybe. Okay, it's a little late. It's a little late. Diana's given us an X here. Okay, so any other thoughts on this out there? Because we'll start brainstorming here, because the way you're heading right now is throwing it away. Hold those late evaluators responsible. Thank you. Thank you, Catherine. Okay, now I'll tell you, what do we do with some, you know, I'm a supervisor. I got all this work to do. I feel like a babysitter. This is all I ever do. Reviews and deal with employees. I can't get my regular work done. Okay. So, and I'm sure you've all heard that before. Okay. Getting lots of good comments here. Wonderful. Okay. Hold them accountable, make them objective with their goals. Thank you, Lee or Neil. Absolutely. Joe's giving us another good one. Maybe something is better than nothing. Just continue to refine it and improve the process. I think you're heading down the right road, Joe. Absolutely. And we're kind of hitting the bottom line here. If you're going to do it right. Everybody with me? If you're going to do it right. Because getting rid of these, you might be throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Lisa's telling us managers also have to use the reviews correctly. Lisa, thank you. Have we trained the managers in how to do it? Now, understand, training isn't everything, but you got to train people, right? You got to train managers. And isn't it amazing? This same company, they were doing the written warnings just fine. They were actually doing a great job with them. So if you can do a good written warning, why aren't you doing the performance? Maybe they don't value it. Yeah, Julie's giving us a good one. Maybe this should show up in the supervisor's performance appraisal. Well, yeah, Julie, I think that's a fantastic idea. And think about what we're saying here with the supervisors. I just can't get my work done. You're a supervisor. What do you supervise? People. Oh, Lisa's giving me, okay, I love how you are all tying in what we've already talked. Communicate honestly and accurately. Lisa, remember, our overall goal of this entire course, are you making it safe? Are you making it safe? Is it safe to disagree with your supervisor? Is it safe to be different? Freeze right there. A USA Today. I don't know if you saw the newspaper. I look at the various newspapers on my PC every morning. Does everybody see the headline on USA Today today that more people in the United States identify with LGBTQ than ever before in our history? Ever before. So is it safe? Is it safe to be gay? Is it safe to be white? Is it safe to be black? Now freeze right there. Does anybody think, and give me some thumbs up or thumbs down, does anybody here think that maybe some of these reviews are not accurate because someone out there does not like the fact that some of their employees are gay, are transgender? Oh, I'll tell you, absolutely. So it gives you a lot to think about, doesn't it? Tom's given us another one here, and let's get to Tom's couple questions here. One of them was, if a review is late, does that make a difference? I think it does. First of all, we do reviews to reward people. And remember from last time with our goal setting, a performance appraisal system is not a strategic control point that you do once a year. What is it? It is a continuous control system, like a standard operating procedure. Employees make up the biggest part of our budget. Number two, these are the people who are actually going to execute our strategic goals. So, is it safe? Do you really value me? I think we send a very clear message that when you give something late, you're not important. No. Personally, I got a real problem with late reviews. Here's a hint. You could actually, you could actually give them early. And I'll tell you right now, from a legal perspective, personally, if I was coming after you, and yes, every so often I take pro bono cases to represent employees because something really upsets me. So, like someone was sexually harassed. Ticks me off, okay? Well, quite frankly, yeah, I would use that, Tom, I would use that to show you don't really care, do you? And then it's not accurate. Okay, Tom's giving us another good comment here. Can an attorney make a case that a late performance shows the poor performance was not a big deal? That's what I would say, Tom, even if it's accurate. What is it that you got going on that is more important than the biggest part of your budget and the people who execute? And I'll tell you, end of this month, I'm doing a session. It's a half-day program on the Great Resignation. How do you attract and retain people? And let me tell you right now, I've got clients who could not hire people if their lives depended on it. They couldn't find their butt if it had a bell on it. They are doing everything they can to drive their people away. And then I've got clients, they've got more than enough people. They are fully staffed. Their turnover is isolated only to desirable turnover. And what's desirable turnover? These are people who either resigned or got fired, and they're lucky they didn't get fired if they resign. Okay. Yeah, Emily's telling us this is actually literally in your job description. Thanks, Emily. That's exactly what it should be. Who obviously doesn't delegate enough? Yeah, man, I got too much to do. Then go back to course number 9. Are you delegating? The most important job is supervising these people. And this is not coming from a fuzzy feel-good person. I'm a labor attorney. I'm used to sitting down with Teamsters. You are not going to find too many fuzzy, cuddly Teamsters and steelworkers out there. Okay, coming from someone who used to be a steelworker. I am here to tell you this is job 1. But don't dismiss Mr. Burns here. He's got a point. Now, let's play a little game here because I love this survey. Came out a few years ago, but it is so excellent. I sent you a little handout, and if you don't have it in front of you, that's okay. It says, what is most important? What is most important to employees? So let's just go through this list here and think, why do we want to do performance appraisals? Okay, first of all, what is most important to employees? And let's look. I want everybody to pick your favorite one. Pick your favorite one. What wows you? What do you think really gets your employees going? Okay, so good wages. Is that the number one motivating factor to them? Catherine, now understand, Catherine, I know you know your people. Catherine has been in HR for a long time, okay? And she knows her people. And I'm sure that the rest of you know your people. Christina's telling us depends on the person, some want good wages and someone to be appreciated more. Now, hold on to this thought here. Self-actualization. I'm getting lots of good stuff here. Now, let's look through this list here, and then you pick one that you think really gets them. Okay. Good wages, job security, management loyalty, appreciation for work done, feeling in on things, good working conditions, tactful discipline, interesting work, promotion and growth opportunity, or sympathetic understanding of personal problems. Now, you are all absolutely correct. These will vary from person to person to person, which is all the more reason to get to know your people. Okay, we've talked about this. That's familiarity. And actually, I'll tell you right now, I am just such a good mood yesterday. I put on pants. Okay, now let's just do a little thumbs up here, see who is telecommuting and who is not. How many people are wearing gym shorts, or sweatpants right now? This is the COVID generation right now. I have my very comfortable, Diana's saying no, she's got like real clothes on. I have on my business top, but sweatpants. Okay, I put on pants yesterday because I went to what I thought was a very, very, very good session with my local chapter, Harako. Okay, excellent. But we were all back together for the first time in 2 years. Isn't that exciting? I thought it was. The speaker, was it Kristen Harper, I believe was her name. Excellent. Gave a great presentation. And what I pulled out of it was how to build familiarity. You get to know your people. Isn't that something that we should be doing? I understand your people, and understand, I'm not talking fuzzy feel-good stuff. Your people are more important than the copier. Think about this. People do get upset. And in this country, if somebody destroyed a $10,000 copier because they finally snapped, we would probably fire that person. Maybe rightfully so, maybe. But think about it. You can replace a copier. You just call up and you buy another one. I know they're expensive, absolutely. But think about this, people. You might not be able to replace that person. And yes, I have sent people for psychiatric evaluation. Oh, you do not send somebody for psychiatric treatment. That is regarding somebody as being disabled. But I can tell you right now, I know weird when I see it. And when somebody puts their foot to a big screen TV or puts their foot to a copier, they're getting assessed.